Welcome to whatever episode of Wrestling with Tim this is. Today we are going to do predictions and for Clash at the Castle. Um, Literally hours before the pay per view happen. PLE Premium Live Event happens, um, and then we're going to talk about what's going to happen on Monday and just a couple other things. I'm joined by Ian. Ian, how you doing?
What's up, man? I'm doing good. I don't know if I'm like super excited for this show, but I think I'm more excited for this than I was for Backlash. Or
Why is
not
that?
Backlash, sorry, Night of Champions. That's Backlash I was excited for. I don't know. It
You,
feels,
wait, you mean King and Queen of the Ring?
yeah, that one. The last Saudi show. God.
You aren't awake yet, are you?
No, I'm not. I said I've been awake for 20 minutes. Oh, geez. No, this one feels less predictable, but also more. So, like, some matches are way less predictable,
hmm
but other matches are like extremely predictable, and I like that balance.
Yeah. So when I was looking at it last night, I always get my wife the day before something happens, and I go, "Hey, Shell," and she's like, "Oh my God, what?" And she doesn't want to do it. But then I like pin her down on these matches, and when I was doing it, to me, I didn't even think about it at first. But you're totally right. As I was going through them, I'm like, Jesus, this card is. I think there's maybe two matches of the five that are easy give me's, right? Um, that being well, we'll go to those ones first, right? The women's tag team titles, Bianca Belair, Alba Fire, Isla Dawn, Shayna Baszler, and Zoe Stark. To
See,
me,
that's one of the ones that I'm like not 100% sold on.
Jade Cargill can't lose yet, bro.
Well, it's a triple threat.
Okay. So
Now,
Isla
okay, now
Dawn and
granted,
can beat Baszler and Stark, and then Belair and Cargill can go off and do stuff something.
exactly. That's what I think could happen. Now, granted, in my predictions, I did pick Belair and Cargill, but there is the possibility of, because it's a triple threat, they need one Scott to win. They can't go 0 for 3 on the night.
Oh, so okay, so see, but your premise there is that all the Scots are gonna lose. And I think you're right. They can't. But I think see, I think I can make a case for most of these matches other than the one Cody and AJ uh going the way we don't think it's going to. Um so for Belair, I chose Belair and Cargill. And you did as well. So
Mhm.
if you're not certain, why did you pick that?
I wasn't 100% confident
Uh-huh.
in what I was picking, but I picked the team that was like I was 50-50 split. I'm 99% sure that Baszler and Stark, one of those two, is getting pinned. But I went with Belair and Cargill just because like the star power, and I think that it'd be too early to break them up and take the titles off of them.
Mm-hmm.
Remember last year when Baszler and Rousey won the titles, and then like 2 months later they broke up?
Yeah,
That it would feel very much like that if they beat Cargill and Belair already.
I agree. But again, triple threat, right? So
Yeah,
they could just beat the other team.
yeah,
So there,
but I think they need to hold the titles for a little bit
I
longer.
think the problem is you talked yourself into like an actual like possible scenario and then talked yourself out of it into another scenario. And I agree with your earlier statement. This is when wrestling is really good, is when like,
Hmm.
okay, I fantasy book
You
this.
should
It could
know
go
the
this way,
answer,
this way,
but
this way. Yeah, right. Like, who knows? And you know what? We'll watch it and we'll probably be like, that makes sense.
yeah. Plus, I mean, I don't know. They need something that's gonna be like, I don't know. This match just feels very like Belair and Cargill are stars. The people love them. Let them get a win in a 7-minute triple threat match and move on.
Hmm. Yeah, maybe. And maybe Alba Fire and Isla Dawn will actually be over in Scotland.
Yeah. Speaking of Alba Fire, prayers in regards to her, man. Did you hear what happened?
No, what happened?
Earlier this week in Orlando, her mom got hit by a car and died.
Oh my God. And
Like
she
her mom was visiting Orlando and
just for her to
was
go
struck by a
back
car.
to that's crazy.
Yeah, so prayers out for Alba Fire and her whole family.
Oh damn,
But
that's crazy.
yeah, I think it happened Tuesday.
Um let's see. The thing was posted 3 days ago, so something like that, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, just
That's rough.
so they could win for that too. You know,
Sentimental
give
value.
yeah,
If they're gonna do that, she should cut a promo before.
yeah,
I don't know if she's got it though, but that's crazy,
yeah.
man.
So sad.
Props for her for also for like still going through with the show. She could have totally been
Mm-hmm.
like, look, you
I
know,
can't.
right.
No. Yeah.
I think she's probably one of those that's like my mom would want me to do this show in stop.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's rough, man. Tough break. All right, so we both went Belair Cargill on that one,
Yep.
just to make sure. The next one we'll go up the card opposite the way I put it in the spreadsheet.
Okay.
Sami Zayn, Chad Gable. Ugh.
Chad Gable's getting this title. I'm so ready for it. It's the right time for Gable to
Okay,
take this
okay. Here's
title.
the thing. Here's the thing. Your fiance and my wife both chose Sami Zayn.
I know.
You and I both chose Chad Gable. I look.
You can tell, but here's the thing. Lauren doesn't watch the product whatsoever. What Lauren knows about what's going on is what I tell her what's going on.
Shell Shell does this thing where she'll start to watch Raw with me, or she'll start to watch SmackDown with me, and then she's like, "I'm gonna go to the bedroom." Okay, I'm gonna go to bed. All right, good night at 9 o'clock. So I sit here and I just kind of I either watch it or in Raw, mostly in Raw's case, I watch it till I pass out. And then I catch whatever I missed. Um, I think Chad Gable has been such a good villain, and my thing is, does Otis? I don't think Otis turns on him yet, right? I think that's the feud, right? Is him and Otis.
I think that's the SummerSlam match.
Yeah, exactly. That's that feud going in. Maybe even a triple threat between Sammy, Chad, and Otis. But
I think once Sammy loses this title, he's just gonna like separate. They're gonna
but,
cut him from
but
loose.
where does he go next?
Money in the Bank.
That's not a bad idea. Um,
So I've got a whole like fantasy book out for Sami Zayn, but
you want to run
like
through
where it
it?
could go. Okay, so he loses the title at Clash at the Castle. All right.
Okay,
They do the rematch on Raw, whatever. Maybe the rematch, Sammy ends up in the Money in the Bank match, which is in Canada.
okay, means nothing. Ask Shawn Michaels.
It's true. Sammy wins Money in the Bank. And because Triple H did the long term Money in the Bank holder last year,
Uh huh.
Sammy cashes in Money in the Bank that night on the World Heavyweight Championship. And the Gunther match is Sammy versus Gunther 2.
Hmm.
This time for the world title as opposed to the IC title.
That's not bad. Not bad. Here's a couple
I
problems. Couple problems I have with this. Um, Jey Uso is also in this match.
oh, he has a qualifier. Nobody's in the match yet.
Well, it's okay. Well, neither is Sami Zayn then.
It was a fantasy booking, Tim.
Look, Jey Uso did it. We both agree Jey Uso is going to be in this match, right? He did a
Oh yeah,
cut a
more than
promo on it.
likely.
Yeah, yeah. So I can't see. I like what you laid out there. I really do. But man, I feel like we've been as long as Sami Zayn has gotten really hot, and like
Mm-hmm.
really like reached main event level. So is Jey Uso, and
So the
I
problem
feel like
is,
we can't. I know they both can't be there, and neither of them can be there forever. But it's like you got to pick one to waste.
The problem is, I think that it eventually Jay's going to have to swing into this bloodline story.
Why? 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 Because he's Samoan? Because it's his brother? Because it's his
Because
family? Why?
they teased it at Backlash. What do you mean?
Okay,
Eventually, he's going to have to swing into that story, and
right.
Sami Zayn is going to be the one to take over that
So
top
should he?
babyface. Because
So should he just never have like, you know, single success? Should he just never
I'm
get
not saying
because he's
I'm not
always
saying
behind
that. I'm saying that if where we're leading, which it's heavily speculated that this bloodline story is going to culminate at War Games.
Okay,
Roman's supposed to be coming back a little bit before SummerSlam.
you think so?
The rumored match is Solo versus Roman at SummerSlam.
They are, by the way, they are doing such a great job with Solo Sokoa right now.
Dude, I think that Roman's return is going to be so on SmackDown last night. I guess Solo threatened Heyman.
He did. Oh my god, did you see it?
I didn't.
He
I
he
saw
so
the.
so
I saw the Twitter clip.
he's like, yeah, if I lose this match, I'm gonna come find you. I was like, oh Jesus.
Um. So what I have sort of fantasy booked in my own head, and this likely isn't happening because Roman's not expected to return until July.
That's next month.
Is
That's like 15 days from now, bro.
fair, but it's supposed to be like the week before SummerSlam. Roman's expected to return.
Mm. See, I
Um,
don't believe a lot of this stuff because not to like foreshadow something coming up, but like that whole Wyatt thing was supposed to debut a month ago, and
yeah,
then it was like, so yeah, I don't know about the, well,
it's
he's
all with a pinch
supposed
of
to.
salt. It's all
Sure,
with a pinch of salt.
sure, okay, all right, because
Um,
yeah, I don't trust people that are like, well, I know he's gonna date. I'm like, I don't know.
so my thought process is Solo goes to spike Heyman, and that's when Roman comes back. Like
I
as Solo's winding up, Roman's music hits.
I say let him spike Heyman,
Let
and
him
then
beat the crap out of Heyman.
no, just spike him. And then like the next week, Heyman's wearing a neck brace and he's scared, but Solo's like, no, come here, come here.
I love you, wise man.
Like, no, you're right, exactly. You're still my. I think he should be physically abusive. Roman was just mentally abusive, right? Like,
That's
I mean,
good.
until like matches and things where he just got violent. But for the most part, this man was just mental with people. He looked at Jimmy. He's like, "Where's your brother?" Or he's talking to Jay. Where's your brother? Why would you let this happen to him? You know what I mean? Like the manipulation he would do is crazy. I think Solo to separate himself needs to just. I mean, so far the bloodline has been super violent. But Paul Heyman even called it out a couple of weeks ago when he said, there was only violence when the tribal chief said it was necessary. Other than that, there wasn't. And he's talking about how Tamatanga and Tangaloa are like thugs, just crazy violent for no reason. They're just looking for a reason to
Um,
hurt you. You know what I mean? And he just kept saying like these things. So I think that's kind of what we're leading into.
speaking of Tamatonga and Tongaloa, their brother, their third brother, because there's
I know,
another one.
I know. I heard about this too. His contract just expired. I'm like, oh my god.
And here's the thing: WWE filed for the trademark Talatonga,
Yep, yep.
which so they're expected to bring another. So did all three of these guys just like conveniently expire their contracts with New Japan at the same time?
No, so they all kind of like the Jeff Hardy Matt Hardy thing where they kind of signed around the same time. So all their contracts were like,
So so let me get this straight. We've got Hikuleo or Talatonga or whatever they're calling him.
mm-hmm,
That's supposedly coming in. Jacob Fatu's sitting in the wings.
uh-huh,
Jimmy's hurt right now.
uh-huh,
Roman's not there right now. The Rock is not there right now.
uh-huh.
We've got five other players in this
Yeah.
bloodline story on top of the people that are already there.
Do you remember a year ago when Paul Heyman said, when they were asked Paul Heyman, like, how far advanced are we in this bloodline story? And he said, we're in the
The
third inning.
third inning.
I'm starting to believe him. Like
Honestly,
at the time, I was like, bro, what do you? Come on, I get like you said it, but
I thought
whatever.
the bloodlines I thought the bloodline story was going to be over when Roman lost the title. I
Boy,
thought that was bottom of the ninth.
boy, were we wrong.
Right?
Jesus. And the way they're playing it is so smart because the crowd's chanting, "We want
We
Roman,"
want
and
Roman.
Paul Heyman looks around like, me too." You know what I mean? Like,
I
like
saw this
they're playing it
I
so
saw this
well.
pitch. I saw this pitch for like in like an exposing solo way. And it's too goofy for what the bloodline is, so I don't know if I love it, but I think it'd be funny. Where like you know how Solo's supposedly the only one who's been able to get a hold of Roman?
Hmm.
Somebody pitched an idea where like it's a backstage segment where it's like he's pretending to be on the phone with Roman, like
Hmm.
talking to him, and then the phone rings,
Oh, oops.
and he's like exposed for being like a liar and all this.
I have an idea about this though, real quick. So what if instead of Roman coming back, clearing house, clearing out the bloodline, the faux bloodline, what if he comes out, saves Paul Heyman, hugs Paul Heyman, right? And turns around and kills Paul Heyman. And exactly that look exactly. Can you imagine people
Oh my
the
God.
cheer for Roman Reigns to come down and spear somebody, and he does, and he walks out and he looks really big and intimidating, and people are like, "Whoa, what's happening?" The crowd's going
What
nuts,
if,
and then he turns on Paul Heyman. Oh my
dude,
god, bro!
he acknowledges Solo?
Maybe not even just acknowledges him, just kills Paul Heyman, and that's how the show ends. Like, oh my god. Yeah, yeah.
Oh
If he acknowledged him and gave him the beads and everything, I'd be like, that'd be a whole nother level. But
dude, this is all so good. And we could have
I
had it
know,
last
I
year.
know, and that's the
We
crazy
could
thing.
have had this last year.
That's the crazy thing. We're we might be in like the fourth inning. Honestly, we
Oh my
honestly might.
God.
It's wild. There's so much we can
Bro,
do.
Triple H said, "Oh, y'all want long-term storytelling?
Oh,
All
oh,
right,
dude,
here's a
dude,
10-year long
and
story."
better yet, imagine Roman's promo first SmackDown out right afterward. Oh, you want me now? Now you
Now
want
you
me?
want me?
Oh, oh, I'm sorry. You spent the last how many years disrespecting me? No, no. Now you want me, and so I'm just supposed to just do whatever you want. Oh my god, dude, the
Dude,
you just flip it right on him. Oh my god, it would be great, and people
so
would still love
good.
him too. People would still do the one. It's crazy.
Because
There's depth to this.
people's issue with Roman wasn't like like his character. People's issue was that he had the title hostage.
Well, the people's problem with Roman was that well, the first time was that they were pushing him down your throat.
No, I'm not talking about Big Dog Roman. He doesn't exist anymore. I'm talking about Tribal Chief Roman.
Yeah,
Big Dog Roman died when he poured dog food all over Baron Corbin. Um,
backward. They poured dog food on Roman Reigns.
oh, I think the next week the hit Roman and the Usos did it to Baron. Anyway, not
Yeah.
important. That guy's dead. Um, no, the issue that people had with the Tribal Chief was that he had the title hostage.
I don't think they even had a problem with that.
Well, because here's the thing, like that whole Civil War angle, you didn't need the undisputed title as a part of that.
Nope, not at
And
all.
that's where people had the issue was like the only match that quote unquote needed the title was Roman versus Jay at
But
SummerSlam, but that
by
could
the
have just
way,
been for the title of Tribal Chief.
on my screen here, I have the card pulled up. Isn't it weird there is no bloodline representation on this entire card?
There wasn't on King and Queen of the Ring either.
I
This is two pay-per-views in a row where there's no bloodline.
It's kind of crazy if you think about it, because that's like.
That's the thing with these 5 match cards that are happening every 3 weeks.
By the way, 5 matches in the middle of the day, perfect,
Oh yeah.
perfect. I got some extra. I got some leftover Buffalo Wild Wings. I'm gonna sit. I'm gonna go grab out of my
Oh
fridge. I'm gonna heat that up. I'm gonna eat it. I'm gonna sit here and just watch this thing. It's gonna be great.
yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
Corey's coming over at like 1:30. I'm gonna tell him to grab a pizza.
Yeah, I think for SummerSlam we all gonna get together and do some stuff.
You know, the Big Five happened in the US, the Big Five happened at Alan's house.
Yeah, yeah. Bingo. All right. So we ended on we somehow got there from Sam. Oh, we went to talking about Sami Zayn and then down
And
the
Jey Uso.
down the rabbit hole we went. So yeah, so we both chose Chad Gable to win the IC title from Sami Zayn. We think it's time. We'll see what happens with Sami Zayn after that.
When do the
I
Creed
think
brothers get put in this
maybe
story?
Sami Zayn is the one that starts like prodding. Maybe tonight. Maybe they actually help because they're actually useful. Um, but I think maybe Sami Zayn is the one that helps. Yeah, because then you got a
Otis
six
take
man
that
tag.
next step.
Then you got a 6-man tag right there. If you take Chad Gable and
Hmm.
the dudes with the stupidest
I
finishes.
just want to see Ivy Nile absolutely obliterate Maxine Dupree. I just want to see it happen. She's already walking around in that ankle boot.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Who knows? All I know is like a lot of the matches are more story driven. Other
Hmm.
than maybe the Bailey Piper Niven, that one seems a little out of
Um,
place.
somebody was interviewing Piper. Speaking of that match, I guess we can just jump into it. Somebody was interviewing Piper, and I guess like a couple months ago, she walked into Triple H's office. She's on the story, and she was like, "Hey, I'm here to shoot my shot." And I guess Triple H goes, "Is it for Clash?" And she's like, "Yeah." He goes, "We're working on it." And she's like, "Oh, okay." I had this whole like monologue prepared about why you should give me the shot. He goes, "We're working on it."
Good. I like that. The Triple H is doing a fantastic job in booking all this.
Hmm.
Like it's so noticeable from like 2019 WWE. I remember sitting at Raw in the Little Caesars Arena and watching the Authority blame Baron Corbin for all their problems. And I'm
That
like,
happened in Detroit.
it was in Detroit. I was sitting in the audience and I'm like, nah, nah, bro.
The "You're the Authority Now" promo happened in Detroit.
Yeah, it did. It was in Detroit. Vince, Steph, Triple H, and Baron Corbin, and they all like trashing Baron Corbin. Well, it's your fault because of and I'm like, you guys can't say these things and change nothing. Like, we're gonna give more people opportunity and Apollo Crews, and I'm like, great. And
What
then
about
what?
Cesaro?
Yeah, oh my god, don't even. Anyway, but yeah, the point was just it was just so stupid. So anyway, Bailey Pepper Niven, I think for me, I can't see Bailey losing this title just yet.
No.
If there's gonna be an upset, this is the one I'm okay with, and only because Piper Niven versus Naya at SummerSlam would just be a car crash.
See, it would, but I've been viewing this match as more like
Bro, put it in a ladder match. Make it a ladder match. Piper Niven
no.
Nia Jax ladder match. Do it.
No.
Triple H,
There's
book
already
it.
gonna
Book it.
there's already gonna be a women's ladder match at SummerSlam, dog.
Bro, they need, they need to book that match. Oh my god, I want to see it so bad now. The
Um,
poor ladder.
you made me lose my. Oh,
Sorry.
I've been viewing this Bailey Piper Niven match as more like a prologue to the Bailey Nia Jax match
Yep.
because it's the story that I think they're gonna tell out of this is, Bailey barely scraped by getting past Piper Niven, this
Mm-hmm.
monster fighter.
Yep.
How is she gonna handle Nia Jax?
Right. Right.
And then she might not handle Nia Jax.
I don't think she does. And that's why I did choose Bailey for this because I think you're right.
Hmm.
I think Bailey wins this match. Um, in route to lose to Nia Jax at SummerSlam. They've done such a great job of actually building Nia Jax as a credible threat for so
Hmm.
like her whole run back. I mean, what she did to Lyra Valkyria, I feel like she is still flattened on that mat somewhere. Like,
Dude, that was
oh
so
my
cool.
god, it was.
You know how hard it is for me to compliment Nia Jax because I can't stand her.
I don't
But
like her
dude,
either, but
she's
that
been
was
doing so good.
crazy. That was and props for Lyra Valkyria being like, yeah, let's do that. Why don't you just like sit on me from a standing position? Why don't we just do that?
Just kill me. It's cool.
Crazy, 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 crazy. Um,
Spot
probably
top five spot of the year.
yeah, no kidding. So So I also think Bailey's gonna win. I think if they want to do it right though, they don't definitively beat Piper. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she barely scrapes by.
Right, right. I think Piper Niven's got to look really good here. And I think because these two matches so far, the two matches that have had Scots in them are not winning, in my opinion, is gonna probably maybe sway me on the main event. The next match is Cody Rhodes defending the WWE Championship against AJ Styles. This is the one I think is obvious.
Yeah, Cody.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dude, he's the top baby face. He's not gonna say I quit. That's
Mm-hmm.
the problem with putting John Cena in I quit matches. Anytime John Cena was in an I quit match, you knew he wasn't gonna lose.
I know it was so stupid. Well, anytime John
Now,
Cena was in a big match, you did 99% chance you were like he's gonna win.
see, there's only one John Cena I quit match that like from the time I started watching wrestling, so I didn't see the JBL one or like any of those.
Mm-hmm.
There's only one I have nostalgia for, and it's the one against Batista at Over the Limit 2010, but that's because I was there for that.
And he was a jerk. He's like, I quit, and he's like, oh cool, I'm still gonna throw you off this car now.
It was great, dude. Little 10-year-old Ian was in the stands yelling, "Do it anyway!"
Didn't did is that when the Big Show attacked him and threw him through that light?
No, that was
That was
against
it was
Edge
a
at
that's right.
Backlash
That's
2009.
right. That's right.
Over the Limit 2010 was the Batista match. Edge versus Orton was on that show.
Uh,
That's the show where Rey Mysterio shaved CM Punk.
oh, okay. You know, I still have no going back watch that light thing. I'm still confused by it
Light
because
thing.
when they threw Big Show threw him through a light because
Oh,
it was a light. It was a real light. It lit up,
hmm
but like he didn't die. It must have been like a million degrees in
it
there,
it
and
was it was probably a
uh,
like a working light or something.
yeah, yeah, but it moved and worked. That's the thing. I don't know. Maybe they swapped it out at some point. I didn't watch it too much, but every time I've seen that clip, I'm like, huh. But anyway,
Well, the man is
they're
superhuman.
yeah, well that and their WWE pulls like their magic voodoo stuff when
Hmm
no one's looking, and the audience it's not so magical, but you know. All right, so yeah, we both think Cody Rhodes. I think he has to beat AJ Styles, right? Like the don't get me wrong, AJ Styles has been killing it lately. His whole like imitating Mark Henry thing was hilarious.
Great.
As Cody pointed out on
As soon as
SmackDown.
as soon as AJ showed up in that like bright blue suit, I was like, "Oh no, I know what this is. I've seen this before."
I wasn't certain. I wasn't watching it actually at that point. I was watching something else, I believe. I think it was a hockey game or something. Oh, I was at a retreat. Um, so I'm keeping tabs on it. And he texts me, you're like, I don't trust anybody in a powdered suit anymore. And I was like, what are you talking about? And then I looked it up and I was like, oh no. Um, that I thought was
Have you seen
hilarious.
the Have you seen the thing that Cody Rhodes the past 2 years has been on the John Cena 2012 2013 storyline?
I believe it.
So like he loses a big match to the main Samoan,
To the Rock.
feuds with Brock Lesnar for a couple months,
Yep. Next
goes on
WrestleMania, he wins against the Rock.
he wins the Royal Rumble next year,
Yep.
wins the rematch,
Uh-huh.
goes on to face and then immediately jumps into a feud where somebody pretended to retire on him.
Yeah. Yeah. I see it.
I think the comparisons are hilarious.
Oh, it's really hilarious. The thing is, even if they're doing it unintentionally, it's working. You
Yeah,
know, it's just you know the only problem I have
because
with Cody Rhodes holding that title. Actually, hold on 1 second. I'll show you. Hold on 1 second.
I don't know where he went. Well, yeah, I'll talk about the match for a second. This match is going to be very interesting because there is the aspect of the OC that I'm intrigued by. If they're going to get involved or if it's going to be straight one-on-one I quit match. Oh, he's back.
Okay. The only thing I have against Cody Rhodes holding that title is the way he fricking holds it. He puts it on his shoulder and does this thing. So it sticks way out of his body and it looks strange. It just drives me freaking nuts. How does Logan Paul hold this thing better than you? Like, All
He
you
holds it like how
all you have to do, you see this point? All you have to do is put that right into you, and
well
it's
he
the
holds it how
center.
like the classic wrestlers used to hold their
I
belts.
don't care. I hate it. It looks stupid.
I
I hate
don't
it
disagree.
because
I think they're more.
he's like chicken winging it the whole time. I'm like, you look like that title doesn't fit you. Like you stole your daddy's title or something.
Well, I mean, that was the thing we said at the first draw after WrestleMania was that it didn't look like it fit Cody.
Yeah, just like if I was Triple H, I'd be like, dude, knock it off. You know,
Just give him the winged eagle belt, please.
no, no,
Get rid of the mustard yellow belt.
mustard yellow.
I don't know. That's what people were calling it when it first came out.
No, it's just the back plate isn't black anymore. It's gold. Got a little texture to it.
That should have been exclusive for Roman.
No,
Give Cody a new belt.
no, no. Stop it. We can't go back in time and give either make a
Don't
new.
tell me, don't you dare tell me they can't bring back old titles. They brought back the World Heavyweight Championship. Don't you dare say they can't go back in time and bring back old titles.
Oh, it looks exactly the same as the World Heavyweight Championship.
With the exception of the logo in the middle.
No, it doesn't. You clearly don't remember what that title looks like. There's a lot
Looks
of
close enough
differences.
to it.
It's the shape is roughly the same. Okay.
All right,
Same
whatever.
with
Let's talk about
same
this match.
same with the SmackDown tag titles. All right. So the main event: Damian Priest defending against Drew McIntyre. Thoughts?
I went with Priest.
Why though?
This was like we tried to start with this match when Lauren and I were doing predictions, and I told her I was like, I need to think about this one. This has to be the last one. I landed on Priest because what are the odds that at Clash at the Castle 2 years after it happened last time, that Drew McIntyre gets screwed over by somebody wearing a black hoodie?
Mm-hmm.
But this time it's CM Punk.
Question though: is Drew McIntyre going into this match as the heel?
No,
On paper, we have heel versus heel.
no, this is a babyface match for McIntyre, 100%.
So if someone screws McIntyre over, they are what?
They'd be a bad guy.
Okay.
But he'd only be a bad guy in Scotland. Everywhere else, he'd still be a babyface.
Okay. But is that what you want to teach your audience, that CM Punk is the bad guy? People are gonna watch this and hear these people boo at him.
I don't know. I think that I don't think that the Punk McIntyre match needs the title involved. I think it's a good enough feud to where it doesn't need the title.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be more
I agree.
intrigued
I agree
with.
with you. But here's my thought. Either way, Drew McIntyre wins. Feud with CM Punk can still happen. Drew McIntyre loses. He has just as much to complain about against CM Punk.
And now he's even more angry
Sure.
because Punk screwed him in his hometown. Because it's not just his home country;
Can
it's
I
his hometown.
can I tell you something I was thinking about the other day that I thought would be
Hmm.
hilarious? So what if do you remember CM Punk's reign as world heavyweight title for the champion for the first time?
When he got cashed in on, or is that when Orton punted him and he lost it
Orton
without losing?
punted this man in the head, and then he couldn't defend his title, so they gave the title match to Shawn Michaels and Chris Jericho, who, to be fair, were having a crazy feud, but they just absolved CM Punk of the championship. Ergo, what if, what if either Drew McIntyre or Damian Priest are unconscious backstage and can't do the match, and they need someone to fill that spot?
Ah,
It's not gonna happen. But
no.
my God, how funny would
So
it be?
you know how I had this whole plan laid out for Sami Zayn to win Money in the Bank?
Mm-hmm.
He's not my top choice.
Really, who is?
Balor.
That's a good one.
And
Um,
that's how you break up the Judgment Day.
Balor has
Me
made no mention of the Money in the Bank.
yet he could just as easy Monday night on Raw be like, yeah,
By the way,
I'm in one of these
by
qualifying
by the
matches.
way, can we talk about the what's been going on with the
Let's
Judgment
finish
Day and
talking
Liv.
about let's finish talking about the match first, and then we can jump into
Okay,
that.
look, I also went Damian Priest. Now, here's the thing. I'm always the first person to fill out this sheet, and I do not change it once I select it. I don't. I'm the only person I don't allow to do that. Okay. So I went Damian Priest. And I went Damian Priest because I think it's funny if Drew McIntyre loses twice at Clash of the Castle overseas, this time in his backyard. But also, I think it's interesting that he loses this match against Damian Priest with CM Punk's interference. Again, I say I don't know how this will go. Um, WWE of old would, when Shawn Michaels was in Canada, they would call it Bizarro World because he's being booed and he's Shawn Michaels, right? And they would make it clear that this is not how you should respond to Shawn Michaels. We don't know how Triple H will do that. We don't know if he'll try to curtail his audience or if he'll just let them exist. I personally think he'll probably just let them exist and do what they want, but I can't be certain. So I don't know how this is going to play out. This is the one that I'm just unclear the most on. I would
You know
love to
what
see
would
Drew
be
win that title anywhere because he deserves it. I feel like he really is the guy on Raw. At the same time, I understand storytelling and I understand Triple H is really good at it. So,
you know what would be really I think it's the least likely to happen, but I think would reap the most rewards.
hmm.
Let Priest win clean. No interference, no Judgment Day, no Punk. Let Priest just win clean.
So, Judgment Day is banned from ringside.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter.
No.
Like, let it. Solo got kicked out of WrestleMania
Well, you
39
know
and
what?
came
And
back
and
10 minutes later.
and I think there is a point to if I think you're right that letting Priest win clean does elevate him for
And
sure.
he needs it right now because, like, yeah, he's the world heavyweight champion, but he doesn't feel like the guy on Raw.
Oh, absolutely, he does. He doesn't. He is overshadowed by the Drew McIntyre CM Punk thing. So I
Like,
think,
I could name off five guys on Raw that are like five or six guys on Raw that I think are higher tier right now than Damian Priest.
mm, yeah, I get that. I totally can see that, but I don't feel like he feels like an illegitimate champion. I
No,
just,
no,
I
no, no,
just
no.
feel
Not
like,
that he's illegitimate. It's just that he needs a boost to be
well,
the guy on Raw.
what I was gonna say is that I feel like since Seth Rollins was holding that title and killing it with that title, I feel like that title has slipped a little bit, and I don't feel like it's Damien's fault, right? But I
No,
feel like it's because he is not as legitimate as Seth Rollins, and they have not made him as legitimate as Seth Rollins. But
no. I mean, he was holding the tag belts the night before. He
sure,
lost the tag belts the night
right,
before, and then was world heavyweight champion the next day. Like,
right. Well, but we can talk all day about like all the horrible Money in the Bank, people that have won a
mhm,
title that really shouldn't have. But we can do that after this break, and then we can talk about other things. But especially
mhm.
the Liv Morgan thing, I want to talk about because it's just
Oh yeah, so good.
been great. But we're up against the break. Let's take a break, and we'll be right back. Okay.
Yep.
Welcome back to Wrestling with Tim and, well, Ian. Hi, Ian. Again.
What's up, man?
Okay, so before we take our little break here, um, we went off on several tangents, but one I want to talk about is Liv Morgan, the
Dude,
Liv Rhea bloodline, or I'm
Bad
sorry,
bloodline.
no.
Judgment Day.
Judgment Day storyline has been hilarious, and I've loved every step of it.
Oh my god,
It might even
dude,
be
so good.
overshadowing like the whole thing It's like that story on Raw and then like the bloodline on
Oh,
SmackDown. What happened? What? Hello? Can you hear me?
hold on, hold on.
Can you not hear me? I think your headphones died, my dude. That's pretty sad. So at this moment, I can say anything about Ian and he can't answer me. Can you hear me? No? You're just looking at me like you look stupid.
My my headphones went out. Hold on.
Yep, I guess what I said. I'm so smart. I'm so smart.
They still had 20 life. What the heck?
Gotta get you some cables, my dude.
Yeah. Hold on. I had the thing is I have a corded pair. I just don't. They're just earbuds.
Well, whatever
Hold
you
on.
gotta do, you gotta do, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Give me a second.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're coming through my MacBook now.
Oh, good. Good. So anyway, well you do that. The Liv Morgan revenge tour has been one of my favorite things on Raw. It has just been so funny, so hilarious, and I just I it's watching people's reactions online are almost as funny as watching Dominic Mysterio's reactions.
Dude. This past Monday sent me over the edge of, oh my God, this is insane.
With the hotel key.
Not even the hotel key, because the backstage segment where like they're all like nobody's gonna take the hotel key and then Finn pockets it. That was hilarious. What sent me over the edge of this is insane was the scene with her back there and what she said to him. I watched that clip and was instantly uncomfortable and I was like, this is great, but like I feel this is the stuff that like when you were a kid, if your mom walked in and you watching wrestling and this is what it was showing, you wouldn't be allowed to watch wrestling.
I it's, it's watching the the clip where where Dom walks in and goes, "Nah, you can't be back here," you know. And then she's like talking to him about the key card, and she like takes it and all everything. And I'm like, and then if you go to the comments of that like clip, it's like people like out of folded like a lawn chair and everything. It's,
um,
it's so funny.
I think AJ Francis was like the top one, which is hilarious. That Top Dollar was like, yeah, Dom's better than me.
Oh, it's so
I
funny.
keep seeing these posts where it's like, dude, Dom's living his best life. He's got his wife, his girlfriend, and his side piece.
It's so funny.
What being
Um,
a Nepo baby gets you, apparently.
I guess so. He, but like he's playing it so well too. Like
Yeah.
the whole like I even when everyone came in, he goes, "Boys, I got to be honest with you." And then Carlito's like, "Oh, that's cool,"
That's
and
cool.
everyone else is kind of like,
And Balor's like, that's not cool.
Well, so I wonder if so. Balor pockets the key card. So is the implication that he pocketed it to keep it from Dom?
No, the implication is that he's going to see Liv.
Right. Well, that's the other thing, which could also lead to what we were talking about with the pay per view with him breaking. Right.
I saw this one more meme before we like actually get into the storytelling. I saw
Sure.
this meme and it said Dom and Balor meeting up at Liv's hotel room, and it was the picture of Cena and Rock once in a lifetime.
So it's
This is the best storyline of the WWE right now,
yeah,
easily. Like
it's
we talked extensively about the bloodline, but that was all fantasy booking. This is actually what's happening.
well, the bloodline has the potential. The story for the bloodline has been insanely good, and it has all this potential to go in a million different directions, and you really don't know. With
Yeah.
this story as well, we know what's going to happen. We know Rhea is going to come back and kill Liv Morgan, right? At some
Rhea's
point,
gonna kill
right?
you.
What we don't know is how this makes the has the Judgment Day fallout, if there is a fallout. I think we all think there is one coming.
Hmm.
It's just how do you
Also,
do it? And this is a good way to wedge someone in there that causes it.
Carlito looks really weird with the Judgment Day.
I know, but I kind of like it because he's so out of place.
I'm almost waiting for there to be like Judgment Day Latino and Judgment Day European.
Why don't we just not do that? Why don't we just leave it alone?
I don't
Why
want it
why
to happen, but I'd like it could.
why all the Mexicans got to fight each other? What are we doing? What is that about?
I don't know.
I don't either. I'm just saying it's just something. But anyway, no, I think he looks out of place for sure. But it's because it's like a gothic thing, and he's Carlito.
Caribbean cool.
He's just yeah, right. Even with a key card. Oh, that's cool. You know,
That's not
um,
cool. Balor's reaction of that's not cool.
yeah, it's
I love Finn Balor so much.
it's
I Finn Balor is one of my favorite wrestlers, so I will always be like push
yes,
Balor, push
same,
Balor.
same. I love Finn Balor. He
They
is
keep
just so good.
they keep putting this like painting or this picture of like Demon Finn somewhere in the
Yep.
Judgment Den, and I will
Yep.
always call it the Judgment Den. Um,
Nerd.
and Corey was like, "Oh, they're teasing Demon Balor." I was like, "No, that picture's been back there forever."
Yeah, it has. Also, that's the other thing. The framing of Dom sitting in that chair with Rhea's face right behind him. You cannot tell me that wasn't intentional.
Oh, I didn't catch that, but it probably
Oh,
was.
dude, if you go back and watch that clip, hold on. Actually, I wonder if I can pull it up here. Um,
You can
it's
screen share it.
yeah. Hold on, let me see if I can find it.
Don't get demonetized.
I don't care. What are they gonna do? Sue me? Da, da, da,
They're
da,
gonna
da.
make us take down our Spotify podcast.
Oh no. Okay. It lives on YouTube. I don't care. It's on YouTube, music and podcast and stuff. Where is
Oh,
it?
we are on YouTube. Dope.
Yeah, I got that all sorted. Um, let's see.
Gotta
Where?
scroll.
Yeah, I know, because
I'm
Raw.
scrolling Twitter.
Good luck finding it. It's
I
on
gotta go
there, I
all
know.
I gotta go all the way back past SmackDown.
It was when he came when all the Judgment Day came back. So not when Liv first showed up, but
Okay, so I just
um
got to the part where Balor took the key.
did you?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I see it. It looks like she's staring right at him.
It does, doesn't it?
That's where he like initially, yeah. Oh, they even posted a picture of it.
Oh, did they? Yeah, that well, because that was yeah, that was framed so intentionally. But like whoever, so it's this is the thing that they're doing really good right now. There's little things in the background everywhere, and you're like, what's that about, right? And then
Dude, she
there's,
put the key in his waistband. That's insane.
I mean, she's this tall and he is like this tall, so maybe it's just I had nowhere else to put it. But like the
No.
yeah, I know. But the thing is, like, they've gotten really good at like telling a story in the background without like actually alluding, like they allude
Mm-hmm.
stories and let you run with it. And this is something they've gotten really. I mean, even think about like the framing of The Rock beating up Cody Rhodes in the rain with like the truck behind him. Like like the rumor was Stone Cold was going to show up, so the fact that his face is right there is it's you can't tell me these
And
things aren't
Cena's
aren't
face was right there too.
right. You can't tell me these things aren't intentional. You know what I mean? They're getting so good at it. So whoever's
Man,
doing
I wish
their
it would have been
framing is
awesome.
yeah, they're just killing it.
Shout out that new production guy that replaced Kevin Dunn. I don't
Yeah,
remember
so
his
I was
name,
not a
but
fan at first because there were a lot of little glitches and mess ups. I'm like, bro, get it together. But like the fact that like they have the camera just follow from one
it
thing
was
to the
just
next
Wyatt
and
Six stuff. It's
what?
just Wyatt Six stuff. That's all the glitches were.
No, I mean like audio and like there was some weird things
It's just the
happening.
Wyatt Six.
No,
Just let it go.
no, don't. Speaking of, they have confirmed that group will debut on Raw this week.
Yeah,
I have a
the
thought as to why they didn't debut at Clash. Um, and I feel like that could be people could see them before, see, whatever. You don't you I bet you they get hidden in the arena and no one knows where they are. No one sees them come in. You know what I mean?
hmm
Um,
Well, I guess they
dude,
shot a bunch of the group itself shot a bunch of vignettes this past week.
good.
Like the like individual members were shooting vignettes. So
I
like Rowan shot one, Cross shot one, Loomis shot one, Gacy shot one.
I just need this to not suck.
hmm
I'm gonna be really disappointed if this sucks.
I'm so curious as to what they're gonna do with them.
Yeah, I don't know. That's the other thing. What are you gonna do? Do you jump the Judgment Day? Do you?
Strowman,
Well, wait.
I
You know what you could do. You could jump the Judgment Day, right? And give that gives them a reason to pull Liv Morgan into the Judgment Day, kind of to help with Nikki Cross,
mhm.
right? And then Rhea can come back and be like, "The hell are y'all doing?" So there's the. I mean, you could tie that together, but what do they do? Do they go directly for whoever the champion is? Do they? You know what I mean? There's so many things. What I really want them to do is I want Raw to start. You know how Raw's that like then now forever with Triple H whatever. I want
That
that.
glitches out.
I want that to be interrupted. I want everything. I want the whole show to be like chaos, and they're like, "What the hell's going on?"
You know what would be great, and I don't think they could pull it off. But what if like when Raw is supposed to start, they start playing like a rerun of NCIS or something, and then that glitches into Raw, and then like it just glitches back and forth for the first couple minutes between like reruns of shows that shouldn't be playing. It's like interrupting.
What about like cutting in old promos of you know people? One
It
time I did.
opens it opens with like a compilation of Bray's old promos.
No, I wouldn't even do that. You
No?
don't. I think it's more beneficial to not draw the comparison than to do it. You
Okay.
know, you're playing in this universe, but I don't know if you want to invoke his name unless he's like your new Sister Abigail thing. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Um,
Brother Bray.
you're right. Right. I don't. This is gonna be, and I've said this for weeks. This is either gonna be just really cool or it's gonna be super cringy. And the only way I can see it being really cool is if you're in this universe, you don't really ever really say it, you know, and you
Hmm.
just murder somebody or everybody, you know. Like I don't know how we get there. Maybe on Raw, Drew McIntyre's laid out, right? We're like, why is Drew McIntyre laid out? That's weird, and they
Oh,
think it's
CM Punk must have attacked him.
right, or it's the Judgment Day or something, and then it's not. So I don't know how we do it, but something's got to be crazy. It's got to you because of all the characters we have, right? That we have pretty much confirmed. None of them are the Joe Gacy, like um Nikki Cross. They're all characters that were middling to over. You know what's to do with the eyes? I forgot his name.
Dexter Loomis.
Yeah, Dexter Lumen. Like what are we doing? Eric Rowan. I mean, and this is my concern. These are a bunch of characters who are not never really got over. And we're throwing them into this group to let them do this thing to honor Bray Wyatt. It's got to work. It's
Yeah.
got to work, or else you're all dead in the water. And in 6 months, it'll be dissolved.
So maybe they don't throw him right into the main event.
No. So what if Sami Zayn wins the the IC title and then they just kill him, retains it, and they kill him?
That would mean that Chad Gable loses, and I don't want that. So no.
Okay, well, what if they just kill him anyway?
And just
What
kill Sami
what
Zayn.
what better babyface to kill than Sami Zayn?
Jey Uso.
Ooh, that's a good one. Okay,
Jey Uso took the Fireflies.
kinda, but yeah, sure. You kill Jey Uso, but then how does that tie into him eventually going back to the Bloodline by what you said Survivor Series?
Yeah. I mean, Survivor Series is in November. It's only June.
Sure, but Jey Uso doesn't need. Here's the thing: whoever they kill, they have to win that feud against. They can't lose that feud. You can't Bray Wyatt book this group like Bray Wyatt when Vince was in charge, where he'd build up, be a monster, lose, be a monster, lose. You know that you can't do that with him. You can't do that with this group.
Yeah.
They're gonna kill somebody. They have to kill them and they have to decimate them and move forward.
Yeah.
So who's the lamb to the slaughter?
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
I would have said Ricochet, but he's dead. No,
Uh,
not for any like comparison. Just that's a good guy where you can. He was a good guy that you can decimate and beat.
yeah, Braun Breaker did that.
Yeah. Um. I'm trying to think of baby faces on Raw. Sheamus.
See, if you're gonna
He's
do
got his thing
Sheamus,
going on.
I do Sheamus and Drew.
Sheamus has got his thing with Kaiser going on right now.
Barely.
Um.
Kaiser's aimed for the Money in the Bank right now. Cut a promo a
hmm.
couple weeks ago talking about it.
I can't think of any baby
I,
faces on Raw.
maybe it is just Braun Strowman. Maybe you just kill Braun Strowman.
Braun, Rey Mysterio, and Dragon Lee.
Sure. Sure, yeah, there you go. Kill the LWO. Squish him. Why not?
God, can you imagine Eric Rowan throwing Dragon Lee like 10 feet in the air?
I think Rey Mysterio weighs less. Throw Rey Mysterio.
Yeah,
Smaller.
but Rey Mysterio's like 50, so that could kill him.
There have been a lot of things I thought should have killed Rey Mysterio. I think he'll be fine. Hey, speaking of which,
Nice. I
he'll
need
be
more
fine.
wrestling shirts.
He'll be fine. Um, yeah, man, I don't know who that what they do, but I feel like
I
you
feel
there
like the first one's got to be Strowman.
there can't be
Absolutely Merc Strowman.
there can't be any half measures though.
No.
You know what I mean?
Now,
It's
if Uncle Howdy comes back, and first of all, I really hope they change the name from Uncle Howdy, but I don't think they will.
I hope that he's not Uncle Howdy because that character is kind of stupid.
His finisher's got to be the Sister Abigail, right?
Sure. I believe it could be.
I mean, when he was involved with Bray, he hit Bray with a Sister Abigail. So,
Yeah.
and
I
that's the thing. You keep saying that like this can't just be a Bray Wyatt tribute act. The group is called the Wyatt Six.
we don't know that. That's what we've been calling it because we don't know what it's called.
Hmm.
You know, I who we don't know. Monday will be really interesting.
I know, dude. I wish I had cable.
I'm telling you, you go to YouTube TV, get a free trial, watch Raw, cancel it.
Uh,
Could totally do it. And if you can't do it with that, do it with Sling. Pick one. Totally just watch it. Cancel that bad boy. It might be worth it, honestly.
it
Just
might
to
be just for Monday.
just to see what is going to happen. I mean, because
Yeah.
I have really no definitive direction or prediction that I can go. That's for sure going to happen. I hope they don't cut a promo. I hope you don't cut a promo at all. You just murder a bunch of people. You know who had the best debut, and maybe they'll do something like that. Is the Nexus? Just destroy everything.
That's how you end Raw.
Yeah, and just kill somebody. You know, whatever the main event
I
ends up being will be really telling.
I'm really I'm leaning towards Strowman being the most likely victim.
Uh, yeah, I could see it.
You know, her storyline is try to bring back the Black Sheep.
No, no. Who was the last one to beat Bray Wyatt?
LA Knight. No, he didn't beat Wyatt.
No, he didn't. Who was the last one to beat Bray Wyatt?
I don't remember because when he came back, he didn't finish his feud with Lashley.
Yeah, we never even technically started
He beat LA Knight, but
it.
that was his only feud after he came back. He didn't feud with anybody after he came back at Extreme Rules.
Mm-mm.
So it would
Let's
have
see.
been Randy
He's on SmackDown,
because that would have been Mania
and it
30.
can't be Roman beating the
He's on
Fiend,
SmackDown.
but he also beat the Fiend.
So
Um,
yeah, it'd be Braun.
I would, yeah, why not? Why not? Let's
Dude,
see.
that was 2021.
It's crazy, right? What was? Oh, the
The
Braun and yeah. I
Was
think
it
in Bray Wyatt.
2021?
thought you were saying Bray Wyatt died in 2020. And I was like, no.
No, he died last year, didn't he?
Yeah. Because he beat LA Knight in the pitch dark match.
Mountain Dew match.
People hated it. I actually thought it was cool.
I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
That match was really what put LA Knight over. So
Yeah. Uh, well, I don't know. He was getting over before that.
that feud was starting to like put him over.
Right.
His character worked there. Man, I don't know what you do with him, but I am very intrigued by this.
Yeah, I don't. This is the thing, and the other thing is you put so much time into it, right? Um, because you've been building this for weeks and
Months.
weeks. Yeah, since WrestleMania, since the week before WrestleMania,
Whenever that Wyatt documentary came out
right
is
before
when the
WrestleMania,
yeah,
like 4 days
you've been
before.
building since then. They did an MCU extra credit scene.
Yeah, yeah, which caught me way off guard. Um, let's see. Yeah, whatever we do, this I trust Triple H to get this done. But this is the thing, you cannot drop the ball on this.
I
You
am I am excitedly cautious about it
cautiously excited.
because yeah, that one.
Mm.
Because my other thought is, what do you do with spooky characters in today's WWE? We've talked about this before. What place do these guys have in today's WWE?
Exactly.
Like, I don't know. Very interesting. I'd be down for them just showing up and murking everybody.
That's kind of what they need to do.
Maybe we have the two war games matches, the Bloodline war games and the Wyatt Six war games, where
Yeah,
it's the Wyatt Six versus Team WWE.
I don't know what I have no idea. And this is the thing with the group of characters we have. I I I I don't know.
Yeah, I'm very intrigued, but I don't really know. We've spent like every podcast that you've had so far, we've talked about the Wyatt Six. I don't know
Yeah.
what else we can talk about
Well,
other than
we don't have we don't. But the thing is, there's no main eventers in that entire thing, right? Not one. Is there a main eventer in that group that you can think of? No,
no.
no.
I think the biggest name in that group
So
is
see,
Nikki.
yep, probably
If
because
Alexa, if she's in that group,
if Alexa's in the group, then it's Alexa. But here's the thing: because of that, they have to make a huge impact, and you have to book them to be really, really, really strong to make them credible, or else none of it matters.
mhm.
Unless that's the way you go. Is there are a bunch of idiots who are just trying to honor Bray Wyatt, but they're stupid. But I don't think you want to do that.
No, please don't make them a comedy act.
Right. So again, I have no idea where we go. I'm excited, but super nervous for them. You
Hmm.
know, I guess we'll see if Bo Dallas can actually
Hold
do
this off.
this. You know, um, cautiously optimistic, I guess. But anyway, that's
One last thing I wanted to talk to you about
okay. What's up?
because we haven't spoken about this.
Oh,
How are you feeling about NXTNA?
I have it on on my list here of things to talk about actually. Um, so I'm not sure how I feel about it. I don't mind Jordan Grace coming over, right? I think that's actually really cool of WWE to do that for TNA. Um, say what we will about TNA or AEW, but the reason WWE always put NXT up against those properties is because they don't compare to Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah.
None of them. Let's just be fair. I mean, even in this week, like just ratings alone,
NXT beat
is
Dynamite.
beating AEW badly. It's by like 100,000
Now
people.
I will say there's other contributing factors to that. Dynamite was up against NBA Finals game and all that, but yeah.
Okay. NXT is
So
very often been up against Stanley Cup playoff games.
yeah.
I mean,
No, and I'm not saying anything about it. I'm not going to sit here and be like, "Oh, TNA is great." I don't watch TNA. I don't know anybody who does watch TNA.
no, I don't either. But
Um,
what I do know is WWE is actively helping them
yeah,
by loaning your talent or showcasing your talent.
they
I think TNA
Matt
needs.
Hardy confirmed that he's going to be on this week's NXT.
I think he. Well, did he though? It's wrestling.
Yeah, he did.
Like 100% said, yeah, I'll be there.
He posted on Twitter because they've got
He's kind of a troll, dude. Be careful.
yeah, true. But as of like from
He
what was
he was
posted,
also tweeting the Wyatt six or whatever they are is like QR codes and things. So
uh, well, from what it seems now, if I'm getting worked, then fine, I'll take that. He's gonna be in the battle royal this Tuesday.
I mean, I think that'd be cool. I just who knows. Um,
I'd love to see it.
sure,
I
why not?
like I like that WWE's finally comfortable working with other companies. They're loaning Io Sky out to Marigold out in Japan.
Yep.
They're bringing in TNA talent. Um, I like it, because for the longest time you didn't talk about other wrestling
Well, they
companies
let
in the
Shayna
world of
Baszler
WWE.
do Bloodsport right before
Charlie Dempsey
WrestleMania.
went to GCW for
Yep.
it.
Yep.
Like
Drew
and
McIntyre just showed up in ICW
hmm
in Scotland.
Joe Hendry is heavily rumored to be appearing at Clash in the Castle
Why?
because he's Scottish and that song is over.
Okay, whatever.
Am I
Um.
wrong?
Anyway, so
Exactly.
we'll see.
Exactly.
We'll see how it goes. I just don't know what the purpose is. Um.
It I At the end of the day, you know what I would like to see? I've seen a lot of people talk about this. AJ loses this I quit match and does a TNA run.
No.
You don't want to see it?
Nope. I don't. Not at all. Not in the slightest. Um. He's better than that.
You think?
That company screwed him over so bad. How you run out? Yeah. Did you? Oh, you not know this?
No.
After being there for like a decade and being the guy in TNA, the guy that drew people's attention to TNA, right? They bring in Hulk Hogan, Eric Bischoff, and they tell AJ his contract's coming up, and we want to give you a pay cut. How you give AJ Styles a pay cut?
It's new ownership though.
I don't. It doesn't matter. Your
Mm,
one star you have built from like the ground up. It's him and Samoa Joe, and 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 you're just gonna slight both of them because you have
yeah.
Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff.
Yeah.
So he went to New Japan, made a ton of money, came to WWE. He's actually been WWE I think longer than his TNA run now.
Yeah, he's been in WWE for he debuted 2016.
Something like that.
20
8 years. So
whatever Rumble that Roman was defending his title in the Rumble.
he was the third person in there.
Hmm. And the
Yeah,
camera was right on Roman Reigns.
it was stupid. But no, but like, nah, if I was him personally, I'd be like, nah, no, thank you. I've had my fill. You
That's
know,
fair.
especially going from a main event here. What I'm more intrigued with is we saw, Dana Brooke or Ash by Elegance like appear.
That was weird.
Yeah, it was. Wait, but here's my thing. What about Dolph Ziggler? He's currently in TNA. Like,
Bring him back. Please bring
yeah,
him back.
I just think it'd be funny if he shows up.
Let let Dolph Ziggler show up next Friday on SmackDown.
But
That's Cody's
no,
next
no, no, no,
challenger.
no, no. Let
Nick
him show.
Nemeth.
Let Nick Nemeth show up in NXT Battle Royal, and they have to call him Nick Nemeth. You know.
Well, they've
Um.
been doing this thing on NXT where Vic Joseph has Freudian slips, but I guess they're on purpose. Like when Ethan Page showed up, he was like, "I thought he was an AE," and then stopped,
Yeah, 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 yeah. It was
and then
weird.
he goes, "That's Dana Ash by Elegance."
Yeah, yeah. I get it.
Like
I
I
I
love it.
I get it because they want to make sure everyone's aware. But um. But yeah, I don't know, man. AJ needs to just stay here.
Yeah.
This is
I think there's a nostalgia factor to it. Plus, I mean, he's got to be retiring within the next
nostalgia.
few years.
Who I don't. I've never understood the TNA audience. I
No.
watched it when Matt Hardy was going nuts because Matt Hardy was going nuts.
I guess I
But
guess rumor is Jeff's heading over to TNA.
he already appeared there last night.
Oh, he did. I haven't heard anything about Against
They
All
had a pay
Odds.
per view this
So
last night, and he showed up in the last segment with Matt.
the Hardy compound.
Mm-hmm.
Who won that match?
I don't know. All I know is
No.
Jeff Hardy showed up. I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't
Again,
watch
no one
anything
watches
for Against.
TNA.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
sorry
fair.
about that, but no one does.
This is a very WWE podcast.
Well, to be fair, my options are WWE, AEW, and TNA.
Yeah.
Of those, which is producing like the best content? It's not even close.
Yeah. I would say AEW has like glimpses of good stuff,
Oh yeah,
but they're on a cold streak right now.
they have some of the best talent in the world, some of the greatest matches, but they have like their storylines are paper thin. The Chris Jericho thing
Current
is just getting so annoying.
current AEW reminds me very heavily of the original Black and Gold NXT, where like
Mm,
listen to me, listen. Week to week programming isn't great, but when those big shows come around, it's insane matches.
week to week programming was actually pretty good. I disagree with you.
I Week to week NXT wasn't the best, other
The
than like
Did you watch it?
yeah, I've went back and watched quite a bit
What?
of it.
Okay, because
The only couple storylines I can give you that were like that's great were Gargano Champa,
yep,
and then the week to week stuff with Cole and O'Reilly.
Bailey, Sasha. Um, before Adam Cole even got there, I mean, dude, there's so much. Um, I'll
But
disagree with you on that, but we can talk about that at another point.
yeah,
Um, no, I feel like they came out on a hot streak because they were different than WWE, right? And because the Khan family has all the money in the world, so they can just throw ignorant money at people. But when you throw ignorant money at people and then just don't showcase them, you devalue them, and now you're overpaying people.
what did they do to Keith Lee? What happened to Keith Lee?
This is what I'm talking about. If I give you $4 million and don't book you like you're worth $4 million, then what am I doing? You know what I
Then again,
mean?
that's not a bad gig. Getting paid $4 million
No,
a year to sit at
no,
home.
no. Uh, um, you
Shoot, if I
know,
get paid $4 million a year to sit at home, I'd take that.
yeah,
Got to show up on Rampage once every few months.
right. I think Amiro is being paid like $750,000 a year.
Miro's still in AEW.
Yeah,
I forgot about him.
yeah. So have so many people because he's wrestled 3 times in like a year.
My first instinct is always Keith Lee. I want him back in WWE so bad.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But this is the thing, and this is my gripe with AEW is you hire all these talent and then you do nothing with them. And I
Yeah.
understand like they're like, oh, we want the wrestlers to be part of their creative. I get it, but not all these wrestlers are creative. You need to help them if nothing else. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then you bring in guys like Adam Copeland, who, let's be real, should have just retired.
I love Edge. Let me just start by saying that I
Oh, I
love
love
Edge.
Edge.
Edge is great.
Adam Copeland didn't need to
No,
go
no,
to
no, 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 no,
AEW.
no, no. To me, Adam Copeland, Edge, same guy. Love that guy. Fantastic. However, I if he wants to wrestle, I want him to wrestle, right? But my fear is he feels, and this is just conjecture. I don't know. Right? I don't know the guy. I feel like he is trying to make up for 11 years missed
Mm-hmm.
by doing all these crazy things. And unfortunately, 11 years have gone by and Father Time is undefeated. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
dude, you're 50 something. You can't you jump off a cage, you break your leg. You know,
So I
you're
guess what
24, you can do that and you'll be just fine. But I
the only like old quote unquote guy that I think is really doing great work in wrestling as a whole, at least for the wrestling I'm exposed to.
you say Chris Jericho,
I
I'm gonna throw something at you.
no.
Okay.
Although I do think the learning tree stuff's hilarious.
It's hilarious because it's intentionally bad.
Brian Keith, great. No, but it's Christian.
I
Ironically enough, it's Christian.
I can see it.
Christian has been doing some of the honestly best work of his career as
I
this
agree. I
under
agree.
the patriarchy. So
Mm-hmm.
like it's but at the same time, who else? Like who of these old guys? And you got to think like AEW is so heavily stacked. Kenny Omega hasn't wrestled a match since.
When they brought Kenny Omega back and they announced it on Twitter before they told him, it told me
Mm-hmm,
everything I need to know about the communication in that company.
mm-hmm.
And how did you not tell him? How did you not ask him? You don't even know if he's healthy. What do you mean you just ta-da?
They're
That's horrible, dude.
I guess this past week on Dynamite, Jack Perry beat Dustin Rhodes, which by the way, can please let that man out of his contract so he can come back and be with his brother.
Uh,
Um
Let him
anyway,
go.
Jack Perry beat Dustin Rhodes with a V trigger. So I think they're setting up Kenny versus Jack.
Don't understand Jack Perry.
You don't get it?
I don't. I just
That's fair.
feel like I could beat up Jack Perry. You know what I mean? Like I, I know there's only like, you know, it's a suspension of disbelief and all these things.
Mm-hmm.
But I look at Jack Perry and I go, bro, you in sixth grade, you just
Very small.
like. I believe that if Rey Mysterio and him got in an actual physical altercation, Rey Mysterio would kill that man. And I don't know why I believe that. Jack
Mm.
Perry just looks so tiny to me and
Well,
so
CM Punk choked him out.
unbelievable. Yeah. Well, they confirmed that. Anyway,
Um,
it's so stupid.
but like
No.
there's so much talent in AEW that I feel like it
Mm-hmm.
just needs to be elsewhere. And
Well,
that's why people like Sean Spears and Ethan Page and Brian Pillman go to NXT and everybody's like, "Oh, they're here," because they were set free.
yeah, because they were doing nothing.
Now, granted, Ethan Page didn't really make the best impression as his first
Well,
match, but
sure, but I
did you
mean,
see that segment on NXT where Cody was like, "You guys are all in a good
yeah, I
place"?
did, yeah.
The entire internet was like, "Now, if AEW takes a shot tomorrow, nobody's allowed to say nothing because it was
But notice it was
they."
NXT.
Mm-hmm,
It was NXT. NXT only responds to shots, right? Because it's funny.
mm-hmm.
Raw, SmackDown, don't do it. Don't care.
No.
Why? Because you're again, they let NXT showcase TNA. They let NXT take shots at AEW because that's where they see you down here. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So, anyway, listen, we're running out of time, so let's end this. And I'll be texting you throughout the pay-per-view and tell you how you're wrong on all your picks and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, man. Hey, thanks for being here.
Yep.
Thanks for everybody listening. Make sure to follow Ian on social media, and yeah, subscribe if you. I don't care, honestly. I just want to talk to people. So, all right, man. Hey, have a good night and enjoy the PLE.
You too, man. I'll catch you later.